In this video, we're going to go over the 403Z 2K applicator. First, we're going to talk about some troubleshooting tips. When do you need to rebuild this applicator? So, one thing you need to check here is the insert hat there. This should be cleaned every day, and you have little tiny holes in it. Make sure that that piece is cleaned every day. So, you're gonna start thinking about cleaning this applicator when you have a bad mix. You're running and you see a different coloration, you see a different tint, it's matte or shiny and you're not used to it, or you're seeing a marble-ish consistency in the flow of your chemical. There's a few things that can be happening here. If you look at the back of the applicator and you start to see material leaking out behind these cams here, that's a sign that the applicator can be ready to be replaced. If you take your little screwdriver and you try to insert it into either one of these ports and they're clogged up and they're beat up and you're not getting a good flow of chemical out of either the A or the B side, that's another indicator. Time to go through this thing, tear it apart and clean it up. So, but that bad mix, if you're seeing that bad mix, especially a marble-ish mix, or the first 10 inches of your mix bead is bad and then it goes clean again, most of the time that points to the applicator. So first thing you want to try is to check out our 403Z applicator adjustment video and check the adjustment and the lead and the lag of part A and part B coming out of this applicator. If that all looks good, we're going to go into tearing it apart and figuring out what's going on inside. So the first step is to take your 7/16 open end. You're going to take off the hook with a 7/16 and use a 1/2 inch to remove this fitting, and then finally a 3/4 to remove the large swivel. I'm going to do that off screen. Once you've removed those components, my next step is to remove the trigger assembly. And that's going to be your 1/8 Allen key on these shoulder bolts. There's one on each side. Next step is to grab your flathead screwdriver and remove the packing from the back here, the spring nuts from the back. You want a really wide flathead to try to span that through hole and take these off of here. There's one. There's two. Now we're going to use a 3/16 Allen key to remove the handle. Next, we move on to our 9/64 Allen to take the back off of the applicator. You have 2 screws. Two. And then the front of the applicator. Set that aside. Now this plate sometimes is difficult to get off. You don't want to scar it up, so you can generally push the back of the plate this way and it will pop that plate up and off of the gun body. Now you get to your first O-rings. You use a little screwdriver. You have 2 O-rings here. You have 2 O-rings on the face of this one. And we move to the back. I'm going to use my little tiny Allen key on the side of these to take out the set screws. one on each side. Set screws, and then use my screwdriver to remove the pins. Once your first pin clears, you can remove it, and the other one should spin off. Finally, again, use your flathead screwdriver to remove the brass packing. The packing on these applicators are symmetrical, one side to the other. So you're going to have one set on your catalyst side and one set on your base side. And you can see there are some components inside. One O-ring we can remove on either side. And we can use our screwdriver to push from the opposite side and push the remaining packing out of the applicator. These are a very tight fit. Sometimes you have to work them out of there. All right. Now we're just getting rid of our O-rings. Each one of these has 4 O-rings in it. Take out each stack. And then finally, don't forget your O-rings in the very bottom of this bore. They're the same size as the ones above it. That's how you disassemble the applicator.